I hear tricks, I just imagine him going like you know with Hannah, Anna Phyllis taking the sword out of her mouth. Yep. I just imagine him reaching down into his own throat and start pulling out a bunch of scarves and being like, time to tie you up, baby.
Hello everybody, Multibond Media here. Welcome back. This is going to be a different episode. If you remember the live episodes from SoccerCon, again this is taking place at SoccerCon, but this one's going to be a little more professionally done. Habibi is not here today to finish the story with me. However, I do have another special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello people. I am Riku-chan Cosplay, and I am new to stuff like this.
And people can follow you on Instagram at...
Yes, Riku-chan_cosplay. I do a lot of veil dancing.
On that note, I now have an Instagram as well, and that's how we were able to set this up today. Mm-hmm. Also, Kira is here. I don't know if she's going to chime in at all. If you do, that's totally
chiming in. Hi.
Now, you're going to hear some background noise because we are at SoccerCon still. Anyway,
we tried to pick the quietest corner we could.
Get ready as we try to finish this story finally.
At times like this, words are not needed. Sebastian pressed his well-toned body against Ciel's slender one, a chuckle escaping his smooth lips as he heard the boy let out a gasp.
Leaning down towards the fragile human, the demon trailed his tongue around Ciel's lips, marveling their sweet taste. Sebastian tugged at his tie until it came loose and fell upon the floor, partially revealing his muscle chest. Seeing Ciel begin to blush at the sight of his bare skin, the demon let out a devilish smirk and began to unbutton his white undershirt, button by button, until the trail of buttons stopped. Unsatisfied with this, Sebastian ripped his shirt open the rest of the way, smirking even wider when he saw his master gawk at his now bare chest. "What are you doing?" he stammered, red-faced as the butler came closer and pressed against him once more. "Please excuse me," Sebastian began, wrapping around Ciel's waist and pulling him closer. "You see, I've realized that I barely do any means of pleasure for your sake. I have been putting my needs first. Seeing as this is incredibly rude, I decided to have a night focusing on you only." Sebastian let go of Ciel's waist and took both of his hands in his.
"Now, won't you like to have a feel?" Sebastian purred, taking his master's hands and running them over his firm, toned body.
Immediately, Ciel's face blushed a deep red. He gasped as his hands trailed over the hard muscles, strong abs. "Sebastian, what are you doing?" Ciel began, but was cut off as the demon started to grind himself over his master's body. He made Ciel's hands explore his chest. Ciel gasped as he felt his own hardening member be rubbed against Sebastian's, and threw his head back, trembling while his butler reached over his neck, trailing soft kisses and gentle nips down him until he reached the sensitive spot between his shoulders.
My, it seems Bolchan loves to be teased," the butler cooed huskily in Ciel's ear, nipping around the rim. "Don't worry, young master, I am full of tricks." Releasing the hold on his hands, Sebastian knelt down and unbuttoned Ciel's nightshirt, chuckling when he saw how aroused his master was.
So I picture Sebastian, right as he says, "Don't worry, I'm full of tricks." He pulls a string and a bunch of that, that can of peanuts?
Yeah, and then the little snakes fly out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a chime in by my boyfriend.
Welcome to the story.
Yes.
Welcome to the fun.
As soon as I hear tricks, I just imagine him going you know with Hannah, Anna Phyllis taking the sword out of her mouth. Yep. I just imagine him reaching down into his own throat and start pulling out a bunch of scarves and being like, time to tie you up, baby. You want to be tied up? Oh, John.
They're just sitting there for hours pulling scarves out.
Yes.
Clown bondage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, clowns invented bondage. That sounds legit, doesn't it?
Yeah. A ball gag is like a clown's nose, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, clowns invented BDSM.
Now we know.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Wait, then I guess I can't absolutely hate clowns.
What?
It seems my actions have brought forth this kind of reaction from Bo-chan, he said as he twirled his tongue delicately over the tip of his cock. Never, what? Sebastian, not there. CL moaned as he felt his butler tease the tip of his member, and his knees began to shake as pre-cum started to seep out of him. Never what? Want the what, Bo-chan? Sebastian said, stopping for a moment to lick his lips. CL trembled in anticipation of him, but panted rapidly when the pleasure ceased. Sebastian, please, don't stop.
The demon arose and grabbed his chin, lifting it up so he could view his desperate eyes. I am afraid, he whispered, that if you want me tonight, you will have to beg for me. Tears began to frame CL's eyes. Please, 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 I want you to do this. Sebastian leaned forward and trailed his tongue teasingly around his lips, summoning a shuddering gasp from CL. It seems I am not convinced, CL. The demon dragged out the word daringly, knowing it was disrespectful to do so when it's already the end of chapter 5.
Alright, chapter 6. Then what do you want? CL asked in a shameful tone of voice. How can I be begging him to do these things to me? Backed away and put a hand on his chin thoughtfully. CL didn't want to wait, didn't want to be patient and wait for Sebastian. Getting down on his knees, CL crawled over to Sebastian and embraced one of his long legs, clutching at the pants. CL began to rub himself against Sebastian, desperately seeking the pleasure he could give him. The demon smirked deviously and scooped up CL in his arms. That will do, my lord. He purred into his ear. Looking around, the butler was too impatient to go to CL's bedroom, and so he found an armchair in the library and set CL down upon it.
Shall we, my lord? Sebastian pinned a trembling CL to the chair, leaning forward and kissing him deeply. Their tongues entwined together, and Sebastian slowly slid his hands down his master's body, stopping when he got to a sensitive area to grope it and let him get hard again. Bending down, the demon began to undo the buttons on his nightshirt, kissing every new inch of open skin. The shirt
reveal.
Sliding off the silky fabric, Sebastian lifted up CL and sat on the armchair, then setting his master upon his lap. Now, Bo-chan, you've been a good boy, so here's a reward. Sebastian cooed as he undid his pants and exposed his hard cock. Taking CL's arms once more, the butler lifted him and placed his face where his hard cock was. Lifting up CL's lower half, Sebastian brought his arse to his face and began licking all around. Sebastian, CL cried out as his butler licked inside him, swirling his tongue teasingly. I suggest you get to work as well, Bo-chan, Sebastian murmured as he pushed an index finger into him. Trembling with pleasure, CL bent his head down and gave Sebastian head. CL tried to fit all inside his mouth, but Sebastian was too big and he almost gagged. Turning his head sideways, CL managed to put some of him into his mouth and began to move his head up and down, licking some pre-cum that had formed. CL suddenly threw his head back with a violent cry as he felt the demon insert 3 fingers into him.
Ooh la la.
Then licked his entrance while he had his fingers inside him. You taste so sweet, Sebastian purred as he inserted another finger, earning another cry from CL. Come now, don't waste time. Oh wait, was that CL saying that? Oh no,
Yeah,
sorry.
come now. Don't waste time.
Sebastian whimpered, using one of his hands to coax CL back to his member. Obeying the young earl, licked further down his cock, stopping at a favorite place of Sebastian's. Oh yes, the demon cooed. You remember where I like it best, CL responded by focusing more on that area. The butler smirked and licked around his master's entrance again.
Ah, Sebastian, CL cried out, writhing in pleasure. Ha, the demon chuckled. It seems as though you deserve a reward. Scooping up CL in his arms again, Sebastian stood up from the large armchair and pinned him down upon it, sliding himself forward. Yes, ooh baby. Right. And took his member in his hand and rubbed it on CL's entrance, teasing him. Sebastian, please. Ciel moaned in distress, trying to push up against the butler and get his cock inside him. Don't be hasty now, Bo-chan. Or are you really that impatient for me? Sebastian chuckled. Clucked. Clucked? Like a chicken clucked?
Oh God,
It
no.
says clucked. Inserting just a tiny bit of himself into Ciel. More! Please, more! The young Earl pleaded as he felt Sebastian enter him slightly. Beg for me, Bo-chan. Call out my name. Say you'll only be mine. The demon purred seductively to his prey. Only be mine to devour. Ciel raised his head up and looked Sebastian in the eyes. Looked deep into those swirling tea-red eyes of his that entranced him so much. Sebastian! Give me more! He shouted, pushing up into his butler.
Oh.
Yes, my lord, Sebastian replied, smirking as he thrust himself deep into Ciel. More! Ciel nearly shrieked as he felt the huge length of his butler pound into him. Please do be patient. I intend to make you come soon, Bo-chan. The demon said coolly as he controlled him as he grabbed Ciel's slim legs as handles to thrust him deeper inside. Leaning over, he began to tweak his nipples. Ciel let out countless inaudible moans and cries and shouts of ecstasy and utter pleasure as Sebastian plunged deeper into him than he had ever gone before. Ah, yes, young master, swallow me up to the hilt with your body. The demon murmured
Sheath and sword.
And now for my next trick.
I will make this.
Cock disappear.
Yeah.
Where was I? Yes. The demon murmured as he danced his experienced tongue over Ciel's hard nipples. I'm not really sure what position they're in right now.
I thought it was kind of like Ciel right up against, like leaning on his back against Sebastian's chest at first, but like it seems like he's like pretend like I would be sitting on you like this direction.
I think
it's
I'm
like
allowed
that.
to do that.
Oh no, but I'm meaning like I guess
okay.
pretend someone's sitting like like how people would do the spider on the swings, like that. Oh. Like one person sits on the swing one way, and then the other person sits the opposite way on top of the person's lap and swings
Okay,
back and forth.
yes.
Like that. That's probably how they're doing it.
Okay.
Because then, like, Sebastian would have easy access to the boy's nipples.
The
All right,
boy's
yeah.
nipple.
It's just I pictured like Ciel's got a much smaller body, so he'd really have to like curl himself up to reach.
No, that's true. But as he said, magic tricks.
Yeah, he's.
Magic tricks make everything work, no matter what.
Ciel began panting and gasping as his insides, unaccustomed to being ravished this hard and deep. Would you like me to stop, Bo-chan? Sebastian asked, slightly worried. After all, I wouldn't want to break you. Ciel looked up at him and managed to sustain a flash of endurance in his dark eyes. Don't you dare treat me like a child, he growled weakly at the demon. Sebastian smirked deviously. Very well, he said, licking his lips slowly. And it's the end. It's the end of chapter 6. All right, thank you everybody for watching. This has been, I believe, part 3 now, and we'll finish off with part 4 later. And your Instagram once again, so people can follow you.
Oh, Riku-chan_cosplay.
All right.
And that's how you'll find me on Instagram. Hi and
All right.
bye and love every French fry.